Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
That's okay. Come on in.
Thank you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Maria.
meet you. Maria, pleasure. I think we spoke briefly over the was that you, Fran, on
No.
Facebook? No, that's not you. Well, either way, I met somebody who called himself Fran on Meetup, but then their name wasn't actually Fran. I mentioned that, so I thought, hey,
No.
okay.
Maria.
Maria, well, come in.
Thank
Bring
you.
your cake or sandwich.
Yes, thank you. I haven't eaten the whole day, so I had to stop to get something. Thank
Please,
you.
you can sit here on the couch. We'll give you this table. And just so you know, we are doing video recording of me, so that people like you who are curious about what goes on here can see it firsthand before they show up. Amongst other things. So if it's okay with you, you're not going to be in the shot. Sorry.
That's good. I like that.
And we were sort of just in the middle of talking about some social dynamics and sort of how hypnosis affects your confidence and your optimism and that sort of thing. And what I just did there, by the way, was an example of what you could call a particular kind of frame, right? So frames. This is just a side note. We can talk more about this if it makes you curious. But frames, if you will, there's two kinds of frames. There's external frames and internal frames. You guys might know sort of those pickup artist guys. They talk about stuff that's called inner game. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they're really talking about is frame control, right? They're talking about having an internal state or an internal frame of mind, an internal perspective that changes how you feel about the world, despite how somebody else in your exact same situation might see the world completely differently. So people like Viktor Frankl. Do you know Viktor Frankl? Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Viktor Frankl?
Yes, but only the name.
Okay. So he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning, and it was a book that he wrote after. I don't remember. I think he was a psychiatrist who was in a concentration camp. If I remember correctly, he was, I think he was either hired by the Nazis, or he made some kind of deal with them, or they forced him to work for them, and or he just went through the Holocaust, and it was terrible. And one of the things that he noticed, I'm just trying to remember the story of his role during the Holocaust. But afterwards, what he discovered was that you had two groups of people. There was people who simply couldn't get on with their lives, and who were totally destroyed, and their bunkmates, if you could call them bunks, they were totally okay. They got over it. They got married or got reunited with their families, or at least a portion of their families, and eventually they got on with their lives and lived happy and fulfilling lives. So the question was, how is it that two different people who experienced the exact same event could live two totally different lives, and one be fulfilled and the other maybe even commit suicide because they just can't handle life. So that same question has driven a whole bunch of research on basically our internal perspectives and optimism and pessimism, and so frame control, or at a lower level, inner game, talks about how to alter your perspective so that people's perspective of you and what you're saying changes accordingly. So that's internal. That's what an internal frame is. An external frame is simply how you take what you're saying and basically word it so that it's well received or not well received. So a way to sort of explain, or a great example of this is when Maria was, she came and she sat down, and I said she wasn't going to be filmed. Now, what I could have said was, now that's sort of the pre-frame, if you will, or the pre sort of, explanation. However, what I said then was, sorry, we're not going to get you on camera. I focused the idea on it actually being unfortunate that she's not going to be on camera, instead of focusing on the idea that it might be uncomfortable for her to potentially be on the camera. I said the exact same thing. You're not going to be on camera. But the frame of it was, and both frames are apologetic, right? I could have said, I'm sorry, we're doing some filming. I hope you don't mind. We're not really going to film you. You're just going to be there, and if you don't want anything to be on the internet, that's fine. We're just using it for educational purposes. Send it to the meetup group. I hope that's okay with you. I hope it's not an inconvenience. Instead, I made it about, I hope it's not an inconvenience that we're not going to have you on camera. And this created a laugh and focused on the humor of it, instead of pointing to the potential discomfort that Maria might, or that you guys might experience if I focused all my attention on how you guys might be uncomfortable with me filming, if I focused on it. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I hope that was really, really interesting for you. If you want to see more, first of all, please like, comment, and subscribe below. And we've got some really other killer stuff for you as well. We've got the full-length version of this. All you have to do is click this button here. This is a little video. We're going to put a video here. And inside that video, when you click on it, it'll take you to the full version of this. This comes from a workshop that we do from my meetup group, meetup.com/learnhypnosis. So you can click that, watch the raw footage. If you can't, it's because it's already been a month since we did this whole thing, which means that it's now on the private page, only for members. So click this link while you still can. If you can't, you'll probably be redirected to a members registration page, or or a place where you can get access to the latest workshops. So hit that video right there, and subscribe if you haven't, commented, and like. Thank you so much. This has been a Create Your Mind experience.